All right, here I am. I'm alive. It says on StreamYard, it says, you are live. I'm easily amused. Hi, guys. How's it going? See if anybody decides to come and hang out. Say hello if you're here, so I know who's here. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat here. Oh, hi, Linda. How's it going? It's Linda. What are you up to? Are you staying out of trouble? Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound weird? Because I had an issue and the microphone got switched to a different microphone, and so just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Okay, goody. Oh, in Texas. Which part of Texas? I have a cousin that lives in, where does she live? Austin. She lives in Austin. I heard Austin is pretty cool place to live. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've been trying to do these 12 days of Christmas cards, and it's just not working out very well. Oh, that's where you are? Oh, right on. I've heard it's a really pretty city. It's a beautiful city. And lots going on there. Lots of fun stuff to do there. I've heard it's quite the little foodie town. Um anyway, so yeah, I've been trying to do these 12 days of Christmas cards, and the problem is that I'm just not set up to do like really close up um video, and then I get all like discombobulated and not very good at editing videos and all that stuff. So anyway, so I deleted the last video that I put up in case anybody noticed. Hello, Catherine. How are you? Long time subbing. Yeah, I don't believe I've ever talked to you. Well, thank you for being a long time subby. I really appreciate it. I never really look at um my like analytics and that kind of stuff, but I happened to look at it the other day, and I had lost like 10 subscribers, and I was like, "Oh man." But it's okay. Like, I don't want people subscribing unless they want to watch my videos, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I've kind of moved on to this other sort of thing that I wanted to do. Still working with watercolors, but different kinds of watercolors. Anyway, last year I had made a bunch of cards that were kind of like this, where I just painted a tree with different types of metallic colors and that kind. Is the light okay down here? Anyway, and then just went back in and like decorated the tree with different things. So I really like the way these come out, and they're fun. They're just fun and easy. So I'm doing some more of those. And so I just, paint the bases, paint the trees on, and then I can come back and decorate them later. So these are all done with like metallic paints, metallic watercolors, different colored paper. And then these are done with the Kuretake Gansai paints. So these have not been decorated yet. This one, I just did that one tree. So, oh, thanks, Kelsey. And hello, Elizabeth. How you doing? Anyway, so those, and then I thought, all I ever do is Christmas trees. That's all I ever do. So I thought, okay, I want to do some ornaments and some stars and just other things. And so I started looking through like coloring books, looking at just different, because I have a couple of like Christmas coloring books, and got some ideas for some stars and some ornaments and that kind of thing. So I pulled out my 2 star-shaped punches. I've got this one, which is like 2.5 inches or something. And then this one is like a 1.5 inch or 1.25 inch star. So those were okay, but then I was like, yeah, I kind of want different sizes than that. So I just Googled free star outlines, and found a couple just like free printables for like kids, Anyway, printed out a couple pages of just different size stars. And yeah, so they're super easy to find. And also found some ornament shapes, but I I didn't really like a lot of the ornaments. So I was going to show you guys a super easy way to make this kind of style of ornament where they're just these random shapes. But the hard part about doing these is that it's really hard to get them symmetrical. So came up, they're kind of crazy, huh? Anyway, so I came up with some cool ways or one cool way to do an ornament shape and make it symmetrical. So let me just show you really quick what I did. And I'm sure a lot of you guys would probably figure this out all on your own, but so just take a piece of paper and then wait, I'm going to use a different paper. Hold the phone. Use something that's not watercolor paper. Anyway, so just along the straight edge here, draw your shape. And I want to do one that's kind of like that icicle shape. Like that. And then cut it out. Just making a template. And then you can trace it on one side and then just flip it over to get the other side. And that way you don't have to draw something symmetrical. Because that's why I was looking for the shapes online to like trace them or something, but this works great. Anyway, this is just a piece of watercolor paper, and then use a little piece of washi tape. Got to use a small piece so that when you flip it over, you don't draw on top of it. And then trace it out. And then just leave that washi tape down. Whoops. Whoops. It wasn't enough. Hold on. This is why I can't do tutorials. Okay, stay stuck. There. And then just trace the other side. This probably wasn't the easiest shape to do. There. See? Oh, yes, Elizabeth. I know that was you. That's right. That was you. And yes, I actually have been thinking about those. I was thinking that it might be kind of fun to do those sort of in a... I was thinking it would be fun to collage on them. Let's see. There's another one. I like this shape. I gotta use a better piece of tape. That tape was not very sticky. Because I'm gonna cut these out. I'm gonna paint them and then cut them out and attach them to my cards. I'm trying really hard to not have to buy any more cardstock or envelopes. So isn't that cool? I just think it's so it's just ingenious, right? Anyway, I'm gonna do a bigger one. Let's do one of these. I really like this shape. So see, I just went nuts last night and I painted some. And I love how they came out. So this will be fun, and you can paint them. You could just color them with markers or whatever, gel pens, colored pencils, whatever. Just kind of inspired by coloring books, you know? Here. Let's paint a couple. Yeah, that's that big one. Let me do one of this one too. Use a French journal I wrote for me for first Paris this year. Oh, right on. I was watching Carla's most recent video, and she was inspiring me. Carla always inspires me. And I'm sure you guys all know who I'm talking about. Carla Frizzell, my frizzle. For shizzle, my frizzle. Where's that other? Oh, here it is. This is this one. For shizzle, my frizzle. I was kind of hoping Carla would show up tonight, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it today. So thanks you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. And guess what I got in the mail today? She is amazing, isn't she, Linda? Yeah, she's my she's my friend. She's very supportive and very loving, sweet person. Yeah, so guess what came in the mail today? Can anybody guess what came in the mail today? I want somebody to guess. Hi, Tamar. How's it going? I haven't saw you for a long time. Since the last time I streamed, I guess. Granulating watercolors. That's a really good guess because I did order some and I'm waiting for them to come. There's a super color granulating watercolors, and I've seen some not the Kuretake ones, although I did talk about those, didn't I? I've seen some, they're called super color, and I've seen some reviews of these watercolors that weren't that great. Yeah, I saw some kind of negative reviews of these watercolors, but I've heard that they've reformulated them. And so I went ahead and ordered them. It's a set of 15 colors. So I'm just trimming this down a little bit so I can attach it to my little boards. Anyway, so since I heard that they reformulated them, because the problem was that they were made with a watercolor pigment, like a traditional sort of watercolor pigment, but they also were made using dyes instead of pigments, and the dye was like disappearing. So it was kind of like, so in case maybe you don't know what granulating watercolors are, they're basically watercolors that are made most of the time made with a couple of different pigments, so that when they dry, they kind of split into 2 different colors, or sometimes even 3 different colors. And so you can see both colors basically when they dry. And that's what this is. This is a mixture of, I think it's quinacridone violet and PBK 11. These are A Gallo colors. So this is their PBK 11 is just a black, but it's their Roman. Excuse me, it's the A Gallo Roman black. Or you could use like lamp black, I think it is, or Mars black. That's what it is. Anyway, so apparently they have stopped using dye, these super color watercolors, for their granulating colors. So I want to try them and see. So you watch my videos on replay? Oh, my live streams. You know what's funny is every once in a while, my videos pop up when I'm just watching YouTube. Anywho, so speaking of granulation, I'll just use this. So this is a mix that I made, like I said. And the thing with granulating watercolor that is really important is that you use a lot of water. Gotta use a lot of water. Because it needs that water to move around on the paper. Oh no, you know what this is? This isn't the Roman black. This is actually the I forgot. Sorry, I'm all confused. I am going to tell you what came in the mail today, but it's the Schmincke super granulating. I think it's Glacier Blue or something, and it's a single pigment color of theirs, but it granulates, and I wanted to see what would happen if I added like a magenta to it. So that's what I did. I mixed some of it with some magenta, with some quinacridone magenta. Anyway, granulating colors are sedentary, so they have a tendency to fall. They clump together and they kind of like fall down into the valleys in your paper. Anyway, ooh, it's so pretty. So I just got this wet all around inside the pencil marks, and I'm gonna just add color kind of randomly in here. So my brother's ashes came in the mail today. Priority mail. Pretty weird, huh? Yeah. I didn't even know that they were on the way from Arizona. Gonna tap in color a little heavier on one side. Just to kind of give an impression of some shadow. Yeah, I figured it would have been. So yeah, so you can see how it's kind of splitting apart, right? You can see blues and like magenta color in there, right? Granulation works best on cold press paper because you do want that texture. You definitely want that like texture to pull it out, so that what happens is the granulating colors, the colors that are sedimentary, they will kind of clump together, like I said, and fall down into the valleys in the paper. But the color that's in that mixture that is not sedimentary, and it's more staining, meaning that it's got smaller particles, like teeny tiny smaller particles. Those colors, those pigments will actually sink into all the fibers of the paper, so even the hills and the valleys. So when this paint dries, the sedimentary colors will sink to the bottom, and the staining color, the smaller pigmented colors, some of that will stay up on the hills. So that's why you'll see both colors coming through. And it's kind of like a trendy sort of thing, but it's something that I think people have been really interested in for a long time, but it's gotten to be pretty popular lately. I'm going to do a different one over the last few years. So as far as what I'm going to do with his ashes, I don't really know at this point. My son Alex is a potter, and so I've talked to him about having an urn made, have him make an urn, and but I don't think I want to keep all of his ashes. So I think I just want like a small quantity of his ashes. And here's the really weird thing is that so my brother had a son. He has one son, and his name was Cameron. And so I hadn't seen Cameron for quite a while, and hadn't seen him for a couple years probably. But he does live here in Spokane. But we just kind of never really saw each other that much, and he didn't really hang out with my kids or anything either. So anyway, so when his dad died, I reached out to him to tell him that his dad had passed away, because he never really talked to his dad either. I mean, he hadn't seen his dad since he was like 8 or 9 years old, and he's now in his 30s. So anyway, but Cameron was my brother's next of kin, and so I needed him to sign some paperwork for the funeral home. And so I was waiting for him to find the time to make it over to my house to sign this paperwork. And finally, the lady from the funeral home kept bugging me about this paperwork. And so finally I just signed Cameron's name on it and emailed it to her. And the very next day, my son Conrad called me and told me that Cameron had passed away. And it was just like, yeah, it was just crazy. So 2 weeks after my brother died, his son died. It was 2 weeks later. Yeah, I think that thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, it was just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just like, no way. So You guys know what the Lime scooters are, right? Those scooters that you can just ride around and you use a credit card or whatever and download their app, and then you can just pick up one of those scooters and ride it around and then just kind of leave it wherever you want. I've never used one, so I don't really know exactly how it works, but I guess that's the general idea. Anyway, he was riding one of those scooters. I know, it's like, yeah, there aren't words. So he was riding one of those scooters and he was on the sidewalk. He was on a pretty busy street, pretty busy intersection of this street out in the valley here in Spokane. And some guy was pulling out of a parking lot in his truck, like a pickup that he uses for work. So like a work truck, but not like a semi, just like probably like an F-250 or something like that. Anyway, so he's pulling out of this parking lot and he hit Cameron, who was, like I said, on a scooter on the sidewalk, hit him and knocked him into the street. And so I guess the guy stopped, got out of his truck, went and helped Cameron get up off the ground, asked him if he was okay. And I guess he said, yeah. And so the guy gave him the money he had in his wallet and left. He had like $60. So I gave Cameron like $60 and he took off. Didn't give him his information or anything like that. And hi, Carla, my frizzle. Anyway, so he took, I'm gonna do this one blue. Oh, I need a palette though. Anyway, so he took off. So Cameron got home, and I guess he told his girlfriend what happened. His girlfriend and his son, that he has 3 sons, and told them what happened. And I guess she, was trying to get him to go to the hospital, but he didn't want to go to the hospital. He didn't want to go to the hospital, and I can only guess why he didn't want to go to the hospital, but I think that the reason he didn't want to go was because he didn't have any insurance, any health insurance. Anyway, so the next day he was hurting so bad, like his neck and stuff, and he had a horrible headache, was hurting so bad that he did go to the hospital. He went to like an urgent care. And they put a neck brace on him, gave him a shot of morphine, and sent him on his way. So over the next couple days, I guess he was like really sleepy and like getting tired and falling asleep at like weird random times. Like he fell asleep at his son's like game, one of his game. I don't know what kind of sport, but he fell asleep. Anyway, so the night that he died, he was in bed sleeping, and his girlfriend had checked on him, and I guess she was checking on him all the time, but she checked on him and he was snoring and sleeping, and so she finished watching whatever she was watching on TV, and then she went to go to bed, and when she went in to go to bed, he was gone. So it was 3 days after the scooter incident that he died. Anyway, I guess there was a witness to the accident, And I haven't talked to Cameron's mom. It's been a while. I haven't talked to her, so I don't know if anything has really happened with that. But personally, I feel like that guy killed my nephew. I mean, that's just, I don't have any other way to look at it, you know? Like, I mean, I don't think he did it on purpose, but I think that he definitely is liable. So, yeah. We were talking about you, Carla. So, I don't know, can you guys see this? How this paint is kind of, see how it's kind of like separating out? It's getting like, it looks almost like sandy. That's granulating. And see how like in this, so you can see the blue and the purple. So anyway, yeah, super weird. Poor Cameron. And you know, it's just sad because he had so much going for him. Like he had struggled. Like he had some struggles. He had some drug issues and that kind of stuff, you know, kind of following in his dad's footsteps, and had lost custody of one of his kids, and one of his kids' moms had died and drug overdose, and just, you know, anyway, but he was starting to get his life together, you know. Yeah, I know. I don't know if they even did that, Elizabeth, if they did any kind of testing or anything. Yeah, like but I do think that he was declining a lot of care because of the fact that he didn't have insurance. And he was really trying to get his life together. And he was working, he had found work as a welder. And so, you know, I mean, he was probably making decent money and taking care of his kids and his family. And anyway, just sucks. I know. I know. They had a homegoing like ceremony for him. I didn't go. I know I should have gone, but I just I just couldn't do it. I didn't go. But the two of my kids went. Conrad and Adrian, they both went. So that was nice. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, so what the whole reason I was telling you guys about Cameron is because Cameron and I had said that we would split my brother's ashes. And so my son Alex was going to make 2 urns for me, one for Cameron and one for me. My mom doesn't even want one. Like, she doesn't even, I don't know. My mom's weird. It's a whole other story. But yeah. So I don't know what to do with his ashes. I'm thinking about maybe, let's see, I want to do this one a different color. I'm going to do, about orange. Yeah. Let's do this one orange. This orange is kind of messy. Sort of contaminated. So I was thinking, we grew up in Oregon, and all my like good memories and stuff with my brother are from my childhood growing up in Oregon. And oh, I forgot to sort of wipe up. I meant to knock down the pencil a little bit before I did this, but anyway. So maybe I'll hang on to his ashes, and maybe one day I can make it to Oregon and scatter his ashes somewhere in Oregon, maybe on the coast, maybe in the ocean on the coast, because we lived when I was growing up in Lincoln City, Oregon, which is like the central part of the Oregon coast. So, yeah. Favorite tree on their favorite trail. That's sweet. Yeah, I don't know where my brother would have wanted his ashes to be, but I mean, I never asked him. So I'm just tapping some water, any excess water off my brush, and then I'm just going back in and sort of picking up some of that paint off of one side of this ornament. Just to give it like a highlight on one side. Okay, I got one more to paint. Thanks, Carla. I'm not gonna give you guys any more bad news, but what I was trying to say is that I watched your video today, Carla, you're with the 6 journals, and I was telling them, since I told you I was talking about you, I was telling them how amazing you are and how inspiring you are in here. I don't want to forget. So go over your pencil drawing with a kneaded eraser just to pick up any like excess graphite that's on the surface so that it doesn't like mess up your, because graphite can be water soluble. So, okay, so let's do this one red. Yeah, we'll do red. Let's do scarlet. Permanent scarlet. It's not a very big ornament, so I don't need too much paint. I'm just going to go in with the paint instead of wetting it first. So I'm super inspired, and I do have those Elizabeth sent me a set of old books, and they're like those little like short stories, or not short stories, but like, what are they called, Elizabeth? I don't have them right here in front of me, so I can't look at them, but I've had a set of them before. But anyways, she sent them to me to inspire me as a special present, and I really appreciate it. So I was thinking that it might be kind of fun to collage them, because they're all just red, just plain red book covers, but I like the spines. The spines are all different, and they have the title and stuff on them. So I thought it might be kind of fun to just collage the rest of the cover. Maybe do that with you guys. Yeah, the world's best stories or something like that. Oh, well, you know, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you, Carla. I wouldn't even be YouTubing. Just saying. I know it's all gushy, huh? Okay, so I'm going to let these dry. And then I want to do some stars, some more stars. Well, yeah, I did a bunch of ornaments. So I have my little stars. Let me see if I can find the templates. This one is really cool. It's like an 8-pointed star. That big one. Okay, I'll just do some of that size. So again, on watercolor paper, and this is just, this is not expensive watercolor paper at all. It's just, actually what it is this Canson Graduate paper. And it's a, what I like about it is that it's a lighter weight watercolor paper, 117 pound. So it's thinner and you can fold it because it's thinner. And I bought it to use in like journals, you know, because it's a little bit thinner. It has a texture. It's cold pressed, but it's not like, it doesn't look like, you know how sometimes like cheaper watercolor papers, they kind of look like linen, you know, where you can see there's a pattern from the screen on it. And this doesn't, I mean, it is a little bit, but it's not bad. And plus, this was really cheap. This was like 20 sheets. I mean, Canson makes nice paper. Even their cheap papers, I think, are nice. I got these on Amazon for like $4.99. So I bought like 10 of them. And the other like cheap watercolor paper that I actually think is not bad is the Master's Touch. And it's got a nice texture to it. It definitely does not have that like linen texture. It doesn't look like a screen, you know. Anyway, and it's pretty nice. It's nice and absorbent, and I mean, I don't know. And plus you can get it half price all the time at Hobby Lobby. So yeah, I did build this out. This is the other, these are all A Gallo watercolors, both boxes except for these two. And yeah, I bought 3 sets of their watercolors, 3 24 color sets. And I think I bought some extras too. I bought a few extras. Yeah, I think I bought an extra black and this green, and anyway. But yeah, these are lovely, lovely watercolors, and they're not cheap, but I don't want to use that paper. But I love them. And they just recently, actually, I'm waiting until it's midnight because on the 6th, on December 6th, they have they've released 52 colors in tubes, and they have some colors that I really want to try that I don't have. They're newer colors. I bought these sets like 2 years ago, and whoops. anyway, they have new colors that I want to try, and some of those colors are available in tubes. And previously, they only offered those half pan sizes, and then they started offering full pan sizes. Full pan is like twice that size of that little pan, and then now they're offering some of their colors. It's about half the colors that they make, I think, in tubes, 10 mil tubes. So it's really exciting. I'm super excited. So anyways, I'm waiting until it turns midnight because hopefully I can get some of them off of their website at midnight. But it's really nice that they're doing that because there's certain colors that I definitely use more than others, like this Indian yellow, the royal yellow, this deep olive, and the Payne's gray I use a lot, and that quinacridone magenta. But I've had these for 2 years and I use them a lot. Like I don't like not use them because they cost a lot of money. I use them and they're still holding strong. Like, I mean, I haven't hit bottom. Well, I guess I did on that Indian yellow. Haven't really hit the bottom of the pan on any of them except for that one. Maybe the Payne's gray, just barely. But anyway, they make some beautiful colors. Okay. So I just want to show you a really super easy way to kind of segment out these stars. So like, see how I have this one like segmented? Super easy. Like you don't even have to find the middle of it or anything. Let me tape this down. And yeah, I like using these silver tins. Just because they're so handy, you know. Whoops. And you can fit a lot of colors in there. I'm one of those people that I like to have a lot of convenience colors. Like, I really don't. I mean, I'll mix colors, but if I can get colors that are just exactly what I want, then I'll buy them because I like that. I'm really into like the like deeper, richer, like haze colors and stuff lately. Okay. Tape it down. And then tiny little ruler. Here we go. Pencil. So you just go from this point. Okay, put your pencil point at one point. Put the what's this called? The ruler right up to that point, and then move it over to where these 2 points intersect at the bottom, and draw a line. And then turn this, go to where those 2 points intersect at the bottom, put the ruler up to it, and then move it over to the top of this point. Draw a line. There. Draw a line. This tip, or that valley, to that point. This point to that valley. There. And it's all segmented. Isn't that cool? So, and you can do the same thing with this bigger star. This kind of looks like what you would find on a map, doesn't it? Like north, south, east, west, and then northeast, northwest, south, southwest, southeast, right? Doesn't that look like from a map? Anyway. But it's kind of a pretty star. Again, just removing the extra graphite. And that doesn't really matter because these are going to get cut out. Keep all my templates. Okay, and then let's see what color. So I'm going to do these all in single colors. Again, let's see. What color? What color? How about let's do this aqua color. Because I don't have that color on that palette. Oh, dang it. That was Payne's Gray. What am I doing? This is aqua right here. Yeah. Yeah, like a compass. Yes. Is that what it's called? A compass rose? Yeah, isn't that what it looks like? So the first off, you want this color to be pretty rich, like full strength. And then wrong brush. I like to use an angled flat when I'm doing straight lines. I like to use a filbert when I'm doing curvy lines like this. It just makes it easier to get into those little shapes. A filbert works really well for that, or a round brush would work too. But I like to use an angled flat, so it's flat but cut at an angle. They're great for cutting into really tight little flat or straight lines. So I'm just going to paint. I need that a little bit richer. I want it to be relatively solid. And then just do the same side on each point of the star. I really like to use this thing. It's a little bit cumbersome on my desk when I have all this stuff going on for you guys to see, but it's nice because I can clip my stuff down and I can just turn this. And this is just a it's like a book holder opener thing. Anyway, it's better for larger things. These little tiny things, it's not as perfect, but it is nice for a larger painting. Especially if it's really important to get like accurate lines and that kind of stuff. I guess that's kind of what I like to do with watercolor. Like I'm not so much a like loose, expressive kind of painter. I guess I'm starting to realize that myself. Like it's really hard to figure out like what your style is, right? Like or if you even have a style or whatever. But I'm starting to realize that I like to do more kind of like graphic sorts of things like this and play with colors and then kind of bring in those sort of like traditional watercolor features like the granulating colors and you know, that kind of stuff. But but I love what watercolor does as a medium. I just think it's an awesome medium. I like it so much better than acrylic. Plus, I think it's better for the planet. Acrylic being plastic and all. And I often wonder, like, how much acrylic paint gets washed down the drain and goes into our water table on an annual basis, you know? Linda, it came from Amazon and it was like 25 bucks. And I think I showed this on another video, but like, see how you can raise it up like this. Okay. And then you can raise it up again. So like, so you can hold a book at a higher like height, like raise it up off of a table to like eye level, you know? And it's great like if you're like if you have a book open and you want to draw an image from a book like into your sketchbook or whatever, put the book on here, holds the book open, keeps it at eye level, whatever. Like I know a lot of people draw things from the internet now, but you can also put your tablet on here or even your laptop. Like this holds my laptop great. Like I can have the bottom of my laptop on this part, maybe angle it down a little bit, and then the top of like the open part up here. But like my laptop actually is a 2-in-1, so like I can make it like a huge tablet. So anyway, I love this thing, and I love that it just swivels like that. So it was like $30, I think, at the most. Might have even been less than that. Yeah, check it out. I can send you a link if you want. All right. So now the same color. I'm just going to water it down a little bit. Add some water to it. Because that's how watercolor works, right? The more water, that's how you lighten your colors. So I added a little too much water. Okay. So that, oh, I need to dry this. Plug your ears. All my washi tape is so old. It's like the slightest bit of heat and it just peels right up. Anyway, so then I'm doing the other side of the point. And this side, you don't have to be as careful with it. There. There. Do any of you guys watch PBS? Like, have you watched any of Ken Burns' series on well, I just finished watching his series on he's a documentarian. I love documentaries. I watched the Civil War a couple days ago, and it's like it's about 12 hours worth of videos. And it's pretty in depth. So like if you ever wondered like what happened, what caused the Civil War, uh check it out. It's pretty cool. I learned a lot. You know, because everybody thinks that the Civil War was about slavery, but it really wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, there was an issue. There were issues surrounding slavery, but that wasn't why the Civil War was fought. It wasn't to free the slaves. Anyway, okay. I know you are, Linda. Yeah, just look up, you know, uh, acrylic book holder. No, it wasn't. And I tell you, North Carolina, those North Carolinians, I tell you. Anyway, so I just think it looks really pretty. And then you can go back in and do decorations and stuff on them. So let me just put this stuff to the side for now. I don't know where to put anything. I don't have any room on my desk anymore. Well, you know, I'm just saying. No, y'all are fine. Y'all were great. I love North Carolinians. What do you guys call yourselves? We call ourselves here in Spokane Spokanites. Isn't that silly? No. Nothing in particular about North Carolina. Just, Anyway, and then so I watched that, and then Tar Heels. Yeah, Tar Heels. Heard that before. Where did that even come from? So I watched that about the Civil War, which I learned a lot. I know. it's just I don't know. Sometimes it's like we live in a community where maybe some of the things that happened we weren't super proud of, but I think that things change, and so what was true then is definitely not true now. I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay. So these little ornaments, I just want to decorate them, Like, oh, I was going to tell you on this star right here, and I don't think anybody needs me to like find the link for this. I literally Googled free star outline, and I found these. So you can find it. But with this one, I did 3 shades of the same color. See? So it's like the deepest color and then a little bit darker and then the really light one. So, yeah. So just saying. 3 shades. And what you could do is just paint the whole thing with the lightest tone and then let it dry and then do some sections with just another layer and that would darken it. And then the last sections do a 3rd layer and that would darken it to your darkest tone. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm just going to do some cute little like dots and stuff, Could use markers or I could use some gel pens. But I think I want to just do some dots first. Tar heel what is a tar heel anyways? Which is really a ram. A tar heel is a ram. Oh, what color? Wait. I don't know what color to use. I love these wheelie or Yuli or whatever you call them. Watercolors. They're like, these are so, I love that I have all these colors in one palette, but I do have lots of other metallic watercolors. And I call iridescent, metallic, I put them all in the same category. Even though some of them aren't necessarily metallic. So I'm just going to do the line, another line. What's a Tar Heel? And how about just some gold? Oh, packing up journals. Did you sell all those journals? Okay. Then good, good, good. I'm glad you sold them. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I need some really fine. Actually, I think this will work. Yeah, this will work. These Signo, Uniball, Signo gel pens are the best. I think we all agree on that, right? Okay, I think that's good. And then just want to do, I'm going to draw it in and with this pen, do my little topper. And I'm not going to worry about the little wire, but I do want to paint that silver because I want it super sparkly. So if anybody has purchased watercolor or Christmas cards from me, just know that I'm still working on them. So anyway, so just a little ornament, and then I'll let that dry, and then I can use it on a card. And I was thinking that it would be cool to have like at least 3 ornaments on each card. And then just on these little stars, I'm pretty much just using a gel pen and just outlining Just outlining everything. Yeah, so then I watched Vietnam. Ken Burns series on Vietnam. And I tell ya, that Nixon, I don't know about him. He was a questionable individual. It's crazy when you listen to like recordings of him, like not his speeches. Well, yeah, if you contrast his speeches that have been, broadcast or whatever, and then listen to um the name was originally in the 18th century when North Carolina produced most of the tar, turpentine, and pitch for the naval industry. The Tar Heels. Anyway, okay. Thanks, you guys. I like to learn stuff. Okay, like that's why I just like to learn things. Anyway, so do a little star and just outline it, And then another thing I like to do, if you have glaze pens, the glaze jelly rolls, these are super fun. So I love the glaze pens because it's almost like using like embossing powder or something on stuff. Anyway, so it lays down like really wet. Like it has a big tip on the pen. And you have to let it dry. But yeah, it comes out like really high gloss. Yeah, and it takes a while for it to dry, but they make like Jelly Roll makes like I think there's like 15 different colors. That's funny, Carla. Yeah. Anyway, so about Nixon. So if you ever listen to any of his, speeches, so I just like to do little dots and then let that dry, and then I'll cut it out. But see, the ink stays kind of dimensional. So like when this dries, you can run your finger over and you can feel like little dots. It kind of reminds me of, remember how like little kids' pajamas, the feet of their pajamas had those little dots on them? Anyway, it's kind of like that. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, so yeah, so you listen to his speeches and he's like, super respectful and all that. And like, if you listen to any of the recordings, like what they like what he wanted them to go and steal from the Watergate Hotel, any of the stuff that he said, because he recorded everything. Like he had all of his conversations recorded, and like It's like, don't you know that like all the stuff you say is gonna eventually people are gonna hear it, you know? Anyway, so but he was not very nice. Yes, like hospital sucks, kinda. He was not very nice. He didn't like Jewish people. He really didn't like black people. He was not a very nice person. He cussed all the time, just saying. Like he was always like, I don't know. I, don't, I just didn't. I don't like him. I'm kind of glad he's not around anymore. Anyway, so just a little ornament, little stars, and all I'm gonna do is just decorate the rest of these, and then as I'm doing that, now I can pull out all my pens, all my little, you know, all my little paint pens and that kind of stuff. All my metallic paints. See, these are all my metallic watercolors. Like these are all my silvers, all different silvers, and oh, these are like all like iridescent ones where they look white, but then when you paint them on black, they're not. And that's the other thing I am gonna do is do some of these on black, because that is just extra special. You like here's the greens. I need to get a new camera and I need to get a good lighting situation because it's just really frustrating. Like to not be able to film a video after dark and have it look halfway decent, you know? Yeah, exactly, Linda. Yeah. He was kind of a jerk, you know? Just saying. Like I didn't realize how self-centered he was, but I guess I should know because he's a politician, you know. Anyway, so this is kind of what the can you guys see this? This is kind of what the glaze pens do. I don't know. I just think they're really pretty. So if you run your finger over it, you can feel the ink from the pen. I'm just going to take a couple little stars. Do you guys hear my cat meowing? He's so pathetic. You're so pathetic, Journey. Oh, you poor thing. Might be pretty just on black. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I want to do here. I need to do some smaller ones like that. And just lay them out in a nice little composition. Maybe not on black. Anyway, I gotta play around and figure out what I'm gonna do with these stars. Anyway. This washi tape is so old. It will not stick anymore. Anyway, so then I'm going to cut out the ornaments. Cut out the little topper. And then once I attach it to the card, I was thinking it would be really pretty to use some I have a bunch of metallic thread. Like, I have some gold and some silver, and I think I have some red. But I think it would be pretty to make a little wire on the top of this, and then tie a piece of metallic thread on it with a little bow to make it like it's hanging from the tree like that on the card, you know? I don't know. I'll try it and see how much of a hassle it is. If it's too much work, then I probably won't do it. But yeah, so I think I just love making Christmas cards. I don't know why, but I just love making them. And it seems like I just make Christmas cards every year, even though I never send Christmas cards to anybody. Isn't that weird? Okay, I send out a couple Christmas cards, but when I was younger, I used to send out a lot of Christmas cards. And it's because I liked getting Christmas cards. So at some point, I realized that if I didn't send Christmas cards, I'm never going to get Christmas cards. So I started sending Christmas cards to anybody who I could get their address. And then I started getting them all the time. Oh, and then so around the edges of these, I like to go. I got these metallic brush pens. These are Kuretake also. And I like to just paint around, just right on the very edge. Just so it doesn't look like white paper, you know? Obviously, you could do this with paint and a brush. You don't have to have a pen to do it. But I just think it looks nice. And you do get a little bit of a border around, like on the front of the card, just of the ornament, just a little bit. Details. Anyway, so if anybody wants some Christmas cards, send me an email and I'll make you a deal. I have a couple people that I'm actually going to be sending cards to that bought like a bundle from me. And so if you would like some Christmas cards, send me an email and we can make it happen. Okay? Because I do like making them, but I'm never going to send them to anybody. So I don't know what else to do with them. I guess I could put them on Etsy, but anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to hang up, guys. I'm going to go have some dinner. I just thought it would be kind of fun to hang out and craft with you guys, because that way I don't have to worry about everything being like super professional. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I might do another live stream. We'll call this, this can be day for the 12 days of Christmas. This could be day 3 and 4. 3, 4, and 5. Because we have, no, 3 and 4. I love you guys. And thanks for coming over. And I'm going to look up Tar Heel and see if I can get a straight answer. Yeah, so maybe this weekend I'll do another live stream and maybe actually put some cards together and that kind of stuff. So get out all your watercolors and your markers and all your pens and colored pencils and watercolor pencils and make some stars and some ornaments and some Christmas trees. And then let's put some cards together this weekend. Okay? Okay. Love you guys. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Absolutely. Thanks for coming over, Linda. Thanks, Carla. Thank you, everybody. Elizabeth. Catherine. And who else was here? Tamara was here for a minute. Yep. Okay, guys. I'm hanging up. Love you. Okay. Bye for now.